Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us this evening at Tarnation TV and at the Flat Out Racing Network. This is very loud. Okay, this is Rolling Thunder. Wow, can I start this over again? This is Rolling Thunder Gaming. Yeah, no kidding. RollingThunderGaming.com is the name of the league, and the Talladega Challenge happens on Thursday nights. That's where we are right now. Race number 14, season number 66. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of numbers. My name is Blaine Donlan, joined, of course, by Michael Norman and Seth Cole.
Top Billy.
Top Billy.
Hey, you talk about a lot of numbers. How about another number for you? Five drivers in this final round of the playoffs. It's supposed to be final four, but we ended up having a tie for that fourth and final transfer spot 1 week ago. And so for 2 races, 5 drivers will duke it out to see who is going to accumulate the most points between now and next week to claim the championship. Wins are certainly helpful, but at the same time, it doesn't lock you up the championship. You're going to have good luck in 2 weeks, not just the one. And for a lot of drivers, it's been difficult to find that consistent streak, Michael. What do we think here for these final 5? Is there some kind of a strategy specifically coming into this race tonight, the opening race of this final round?
It's just to get a good finish. You know, you got to set yourself up for that final race. We've seen championships won and lost from this first race, so it's all about getting yourself and staying up front.
Only one driver won his way into this final round of the playoffs. That was last week. We saw Brian Schilling, a dominating performance in that elimination race. He moved on into this championship battle. He is also joined by Chuck McClure, Joe DeSpirito, Josh Metallic. All 4 of those drivers have formally won a championship in this series. This season, we saw a first-time winner in Denny Carroll. He joins them as the 5th driver, and it's interesting when we were talking about it last week, Kyle Matthews kind of pointed out that Denny has been one of those under the radar, super consistent drivers this season. Could we see statistically an underdog story of a driver getting their first championship over 4 drivers that have already been to the top of the mountain?
Yep, it's just definitely going to be good. And one thing to 100% watch for tonight.
Going to be getting ready for 66 laps of racing here this evening. This will be, I guess we could say, the appetizer to the main entree next week. This will pretty much set up the scenarios for the 5 respective championship hopefuls as to what they're going to have to do next week in the final race of the season.
This race also just happens to be taking place on the night of the Game Awards.
It does indeed. One name that you will not see on the grid tonight, one race car that you will not be seeing out on the racing surface this evening is that legendary number 143 of Bob Dixon. For those that are not familiar with what goes on in Rolling Thunder Gaming or did not see the announcement on our broadcast last night for the Aero 88 series for Rolling Thunder Gaming, Bob Dixon, we obviously, during the last few weeks, we have been trying to keep you up to date with his health situation. We had him up here in the booth a few weeks ago to give us an update. Yesterday, we got the sad news that Bob Dixon, unfortunately, has passed away. We send out our condolences to his wife, Dee, his brother, Tom, who we've seen on the racetrack numerous times here on Thursday nights as well. Continues to never get easier, and we certainly are going to miss seeing Bob Dixon, the owner of the Factoids, out on track each and every week. Last night we saw a touching tribute of both Bob Dixon's 143 and a throwback to a David Cannon scheme pace the field in the preliminary stages of the Aero 88 series season finale. Obviously, a lot of drivers here tonight running with heavy hearts, and you got to think that more than likely for a majority of them, not only are they running for themselves tonight, but they'd love to be able to pick up a checkered flag in Bob Dixon's memory as well.
Wow, dude, I didn't even know that. I've been working so much as a FedEx guy at Christmas, I had no idea. I knew Bob was obviously on his way, but I didn't know that was the situation.
So it's been a tough last couple of years for the NR2003 online community, specifically this area here with gaming. I mean, we've obviously seen the unfortunate passing of Robbie Nisus, Wiley Coate, who was one of the administrators of this series, the Talladega Challenge series, and of course, the captain, if you will, David Cannon, earlier on this year. So it just never continues to get easier, and unfortunately, we will not be privileged with factoids after the race going forward. So certainly going to miss Bob, and we have been told as well that for those that knew Bob Dixon, I believe for those that are part of the Rolling Thunder Gaming Facebook group, I believe Sean Prime was the one that posted Dixon's obituary, and his wife Dee said that if anybody has any stories or anything that they would like to regale on the obituary, to please absolutely do so. So not necessarily the way that we'd like to come on here and begin tonight's broadcast on such a somber note, but even up to the end, we would still see Bob Dixon out there on the racetrack and still very competitive as well. I remember, I think it was earlier on today, when he put up the race post. Josh Metallic posted the picture of Bob Dixon going to victory lane a couple of seasons ago. It was actually Kyle Matthews' debut in the booth, and got to watch Bob Dixon pick up a very popular victory here on Thursday nights.
That's cool, man. Yeah, we're not going to know when pit stops are coming now, because he always pitted 3 laps early.
He was our benchmark.
You know what? Now that's going to be something to look for. If anybody's pitting 3 laps early, that's going to be like a salute, I think. Yeah. Because it's like, you know what? I'm going to pit early, because Bob would.
It was interesting. It always seemed to be just Bob, but I did notice that this season specifically, as we started getting closer towards the end of the regular season, there were a few others that took and adopted that strategy of pitting on the same lap as Dixon. I believe Mike Mangialardi, Robert Spring were amongst a couple of those drivers that would do that. So those might be the flag bearers now, as to maybe giving us that indication of when those green flag pit stops will be taking place. We'll have to see if that is the case here tonight. So for 5 drivers, as we mentioned, they are battling for a championship. We have a total of 38 drivers, well, potentially 37 drivers, that are going to be taking the green flag here tonight, which means there are 32 drivers on the track that their goal is pretty simple here for the remaining 2 races
of
season 66.
And one of them's Cody Lamas. He's actually here this week.
He is here this week. Those drivers, they just want to end out the season with a checkered flag. So while we saw intensity die down a little bit more as the playoffs approached and during this postseason, we ended up having upwards of 12 drivers at that time battling for the championship. With these elimination races and the playoff grid getting thinner and thinner, I think we may see the intensity pick up a little bit more here as the season begins to draw towards a close, and drivers look at their statistics here this season and maybe see that looming 0 in the win column and think to themselves, you know what? I got to do something about that.
Gonna have to wait and see. You know, and like you said, with only 5 drivers out here battling for the championship, didn't we see a 5-driver finale like a couple seasons ago?
It was last season.
Was it last season?
Yeah, we ended up having, I think it was a tie in the second elimination race, which had us, instead of a round of 8, we had a round of 9, and then we ended up having a tie last season in the final elimination race, which saw us with a final 5. So it's back-to-back seasons that we've been in this scenario.
Yeah, it's going to make it interesting to watch, to say the least. And, well, I have our former birdie in my ear said she's going to be watching tonight, so she said to keep my phone on me in case she has any random facts. So if I start spewing out some random facts or jokes, they're from her.
Okay.
So you're doing no legwork. She's doing all the legwork.
Yes.
Nice. It's good to have those little birdies in your back pocket, though. Because, again, we've only got a couple of sets of eyes between us, right? So sometimes we miss things. I mean, everything happens so fast out here sometimes. Like, wait, what happened?
Well, I mean, she's not necessarily in the field. She's just watching our broadcast.
That's what I mean, too. But you could still, by watching the broadcast, see something happen to a car that we might miss because we're focused somewhere else,
That is true, too.
And Cody Lamas is here tonight because the Florida Panthers are playing the Colorado Avalanche in Colorado in a couple hours. So he didn't fly across the country to see that game.
Apparently not. Well, Brian Lovell going to start in the pole position for tonight's race via the random qualifying draw. Donnie Garrett going to start alongside him. Donnie's been on a bit of a streak as of late, been having a couple of good runs up inside the top 5 last few weeks. Looking to continue that. RJ Cabana, Craig Hagley, they're going to be back in row 2 with Glenn Harris, John Godfrey, row 3. Jeremy Jeffries, he'll be the outgoing champion. He shares row 4 with Richard Martin. Highest starting of our final 5 will be Chuck McClure. He'll be completing the top 10 with Mike Mangialardi. Doug Woolley and Robert Breedlove, they're back in row 6, row 7 with Dan Pantaleo and playoff driver Denny Carroll. Randy Waugh,
Luigi,
is back in row 8 with playoff driver Brian Schilling. Row 9, Keith Bynum and Kelly Cause. And your top 20 completed by Doug Hulick and Ulysses Sandoval. The rest of your playoff drivers are all going to start outside of the top 20, as it looks like we take the green flag here. Despiritos rolling off from 31st. Josh Metallic is right behind him in 32nd. And then I'm trying to find...
Just to point out, too, that we got that 5-way tie for the playoff leaders that will stay at the top right hand of the screen the whole night. The 4, the 17, the 24, the 39, and the 41.
And I thought that I missed a name, but nope, I did name off Schilling in 16th and Carroll in 14th place. So we will see, of those 5 drivers, who's going to have the best run this evening, and maybe put the pressure on the other 4 going into next week's finale. I have been told that if we end up having a scenario between this race and next week's race that we have a tie for the championship, they will go back and look at the stats of race wins, then top 5s, then top 10s for tiebreakers.
Wow. It could happen.
Absolutely could.
Yep, it most definitely could.
Which makes... Oh, we just had a car
we had trouble in the back!
disappear there, too.
Oh, someone's trying to flip over, but didn't.
That was Keith Bynum in the 63, who, you're right, Blaine, he actually disappeared and reappeared in the nose of another driver, which I believe was Doug Hulick.
Pantaleo was kind of skipping out a little bit, too.
There was one car whose sponsor we didn't have.
Might be Makarski. I haven't been able to see the car paint on Makarski the last couple of weeks.
You were correct. 71 also blinked out.
Looking back here on the replay from the 931 of Breedlove.
Was it the 088? Right there.
Yeah, it's almost as if Hulick was getting a big push from Tim Nofsker, and
checkup. Then the checkup happened, and he moved up, and the 088 just couldn't react in time.
It almost looks like Bynum was going to go up there and was indecisive, and when Hulick went to his outside, he wasn't sure if Bynum was going to commit or not. The two of them end up making the contact, and it's just on from there. That car that you're referring to that we're not able to see on my end, Michael, is the 83 of David Little, but we actually do have that car. I just forgot to put it into my game on my end.
That just sounds like a you problem.
It is.
Oh, I might have forgot. Yeah, they sent me that one.
Rodney sent it to me as well.
Do I have it? Yes, I do. I think. Yeah, I do. I think I had it from the week previous, actually. The orange Hardys. Unfortunately, tagging the inside wall at the rear of the car. Not fun on lap 2.
Depending on the impact there, he might be okay. If you make an impact with the back end of the race car, it's borderline that you can remain competitive. You might have a little bit of aero damage, might need to have somebody behind you to stay in the draft, or it may just be visible and may not actually affect your race car for the remainder of the night. When you get that front end impact that you got to really worry about if that car is going to remain up to speed. As usual, with early cautions here, we have split decision amongst drivers electing to pit and those deciding to stay out. Brian Lovell, Glenn Harris, who started this race up inside of the top 5, they came to pit road to top off on fuel, along with, it looks like, roughly about another 16 drivers.
I don't want to interrupt and change the subject here, but they're previewing the Street Fighter movie, remember? Since we're under caution. They're at the Game Awards, and both Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes are in attendance. They're bringing out the entire cast.
It's like 19 drivers electing to stay out, and RJ Cabana inherits the race lead.
Who's directing the movie?
I don't know, per se, but the entire cast is here at the Game Awards.
There was rumors that the Philippou brothers were going to do it. The guys who had the Raka Raka YouTube channel, who have been doing some awesome horror movies. Because their way of filming action, their name was being thrown around for like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, like all these kind of things. But then they started doing theatrical releases. Their horror movies have been awesome. Bring her back and talk to me. If you're a horror movie fan, definitely check them out.
See if we get the lights out here this time on the pace car. Yep, we will. We're going to be back green on lap 6
Currently
of
riding
66.
along in the 889 of Cabana. If you're wondering what car I'm sitting inside of.
RJ Cabana has run on a part-time schedule this season. He's made 5 of the completed 13 races. Few finishes inside of the top 10. One of them was a top 5. And showing the way here in this one, something's going to be interesting to keep an eye on in this race as well, and next week, is the fact that with there being no win and you're in system in this final round, it's whoever accumulates the most points. Laps led, bonus points for laps led, could be very, very important here for these 5 playoff contenders, because we've seen championships come down to just 1 point. It was actually the first season that they implemented this 6 playoff postseason with the 2 races per round and the dual season finales, if you will. Richard Martin didn't win a single race the entire season, remained consistent to advance into each round, and won the championship by just 1 point. So a lap led here tonight could be a difference maker between whether you're going to be crossing the start-finish line next week as the champion or the runner-up.
And that might even come down, like you said, if it's a tie-breaking situation, they could take into account laps led for the entire, I don't know where that would fall on the tie-break, itinerary, because I'm sure it would be wins, but eventually it would come down to probably total laps led.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure where that would fall.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like round 10 of tie breaks, but they'd have to be in there somewhere just in case, right?
I would think so. I'd be really surprised if we ended up getting to that type of a statistic. I feel like there has been, as I said, it's been very difficult for drivers to be consistent this season, so I feel there is some disparity between top 5s, top 10s for the season. But you never know.
You never know what they're going to pull to break a tie if there ever is one.
Or like you say, okay, the tiebreaker is this. Oh, drats, they're still tied. Okay, then they got to go to this scenario. Like, oh no,
Yeah.
they're still tied again. Like, eventually they have to figure it out. But then you also have to figure out what's the most important. And then things have to get, the most important thing has to happen first, wins. But if they both have one win, okay, now what? Top 5s, okay, then what? Top 10s, okay, we're still tied. Then
Nah,
what?
just put him on the track and let him go 2 laps one-on-one.
There you go. Just like,
That's it. Have a 10-lap shootout
just a
at Bristol.
extra season green-white checkered.
Yeah. American Gladiators.
RJ Cabana with the lead for now. Anyways, they just presented another award for best ongoing game, won by No Man's Sky over Marvel Rivals and Fortnite.
What about World of Warcraft?
I don't think that's even going to be a thing.
Did they abandon that yet?
I think it's still a thing, but like not as big as it used to be.
Yeah. Oh,
Donnie
big move at the
Garrett.
bottom.
Yeah, I was going to mention, keep an eye on Donnie Garrett here tonight as well, because while we've been keeping track of this battle for the overall
Watch that
championship,
third
there's
lane.
also the race within the race, the Bracket Challenge Championship. We're in the finals of that tonight. Donnie Garrett winning the loser's side of the bracket last week. He now challenges Denny Carroll, who was the winner on the winner's side of the bracket, for the title tonight. If Denny Carroll, the 41, finishes ahead of the 77, Denny Carroll this evening locks up that championship title. But if Donnie Garrett is able to finish ahead of the 41, we go into another matchup between the two next week in the season finale. And they are only separated by 3 cars right now, both on that inside line. Only the 17 of Chuck McClure and the 931 of Robert Breedlove separate those two.
Had to go into helicopter camera to see all this action here. 3 wide all over the place.
Donnie's not going to move up in front of Chuck. They saw that third line with Brian Schilling and Jeremy Jeffries coming. They jumped down to the middle line. Now they'll block that momentum. Got to think between the final 5, Brian Schilling's coming into this round with all the momentum, being the only playoff driver to win in the last round. The other race in that round of 8 was won by a non-playoff driver in Richard Martin. And then the first 2 playoff races were won by Grant Wesley and Rodney Sullins, both of whom are not competing for the championship here tonight and next week. Rodney was eliminated on points. Grant Wesley was unable to make the race last week, and his provisional points did not keep him above the cut line.
By the way, the little birdie I told you about that's going to be watching says that the lap counter is not showing on the stream.
Yeah, I've been trying to cycle it. I just turned up my backup. It should pop up there in about a minute or 2. Sometimes if I reset the ticker, like I can have it on a button where I can kind of turn it off and on again, and it'll reset itself. But sometimes I don't know why it works, but you can't see it.
Oh, there's a lot of
7s
in the first 2.
And to just let people know, we are at the completion of lap 10 onto lap 11 right now until the lap counter pops up. Top 5 got themselves single filed out. Back to Greg Palmer's Alan Kulwicki throwback.
And look at the 3 wide back there, too.
There's a few of our playoff contenders back in that area as
I saw
well.
someone
Josh
getting a
Metallic
little-
up on that top side.
So tell us, we're all racers. So tell us, like, how is it when you're 3 wide like that and you just get loose like that? Like, do you just pucker up a little bit? Do you scream to let out the scariness? What happens when you get a little loose and you're in a 3 wide situation?
It's a 3-step process. You first close your eyes, second you pray, and then the third depends on what happens after the first 2. You either breathe a sigh of relief that everybody kept it together, or you close your eyes again knowing you're about to die.
So basically, Michael, you were right. screaming
sounds about right.
and clinching.
But it's
and,
internal screaming. It's the kind of screaming no one can hear. Like, in the movies where you see somebody like scream, but there's no sound. That's literally what you're doing.
Yeah, like
Right.
you should have been in the race that I did last night with it was IBOS at Phoenix. Yeah, those last couple laps we were all having fun and screaming and probably puckering at the same time.
You talk about having fun. I remember the first time that
Don't
I
you
raced
bring
with these
that
guys
up.
on Thursday nights.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to talk
was
about
put
me.
in the middle of a 3-wide situation, and I have gone on record as saying in all my years of sim racing, that was the most scared I have ever been in a super speedway race.
And while everyone else was just looking at you like, first time, bro?
Yeah, pretty much. They're all like, what, huh? Why are you scared? This is normal for us.
They're getting single file now, Seth. We're slowly approaching the first round of pit stops.
For some drivers.
Somebody needs to pay tribute to Bob Dixon and pit early.
I would very much not be surprised if we see Robert Spring, Mike Mangialardi maybe be some of those drivers that would do so. You mentioned about those pit stops. We got to remember, that's only for 19 drivers that elected to stay out after that opening caution. There's another, if my math is correct, 18 drivers that can go another maybe 2, 3, 4 laps further than the others.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got Metallic trying to form the outside lane here with the 38 right behind him. But are they close in between those those white lines?
It's been a while since we've seen them do this, right? Where the middle line is the only lane everyone wants to run, fitting it double wide in between those hash marks. They've done it before in the past. We haven't seen it as often here in Season 66, but looks like they are attempting to do just that here. Now 15 laps into tonight's race. I'm just checking my notes real quick. It looks like Jeremy Jeffries, Greg Palmer in 4th and 5th. They are the highest running of those that topped off under our only caution so far.
But Seth, I thought you couldn't remember your notes.
Very rarely.
Yeah, we finally have a lap counter back up. I don't know why when I trigger that backup lap counter, it takes like 4 laps, but it's up there now.
See.
I got the 1 lap counter that pulls the information from GNL TV, and then if that doesn't work, then I got the one that just comes right off the screen on the game. And I don't know why that one takes so long, but either way.
Yeah, you look at some of the names in the last few weeks that have been eliminated through the process of the playoff system. Grant Wesley, Rodney Sullins. We mentioned about Jeremy Jeffries came into this season as the defending champion, got eliminated after the first round. And I keep saying that when these drivers get eliminated, they're dangerous enough as it is with the years of Super Speedway Series racing that they have under their belt. But when you then put them on the racetrack and they don't have to worry about points, they don't have to worry about big picture racing, they don't have the championship hanging in the balance, I think it makes them even more of a threat. And I've been noticing that both Rodney Sullins and Grant Wesley, who were recently eliminated last week, they've been up there on that outside line doing everything they can to help push that 39 of Josh Metallic to the front.
Also, to confirm, counter is up. And Jess says, Cody does neither of what I said going back to the 3Y situation. She says, instead of puckering or screaming, he has a hot flash of a quote, "What would Jimmy Johnson do?"
Hey, Jimmy Johnson had himself a top 5 finish in this year's Daytona 500, so...
We would know because we were there to watch it.
Yep, so he probably would go 3-wide.
After Seth stopped screaming about William Byron winning.
You have no proof outside of my vlog video that I did that. Watching this front of the field here, Chuck McClure, Brian Schilling, they seem pretty content right now to ride behind the 77 of Donnie Garrett. I said earlier, I kind of wondered if maybe our Championship 5 would think about getting that valuable bonus point for a lap led, and so far, we haven't seen the 17 make a move, the 4 hasn't made a move, Denny Carroll back there in the 5th position. They all seem pretty content with their positioning right now. Might change as we get closer towards the end of this race, though.
Jess says she plans on being around for the last race to help commentate.
She's also going to be in the booth with me on December 15th, bringing coverage of the Aero 88 cars at Michigan Nextel Winter, the Happy Holidays 200
That's a
for
cool
Rolling
one.
Thunder Gaming.
I like how it's got like the big like snowbank in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
All you end up seeing is just the roof.
I wonder
when they
if I
go in
could.
Yeah.
What mod is it again?
the Aero 88
Aero.
cars.
Aero 88 cars. Is it like just a special event or is it an actual like points race?
Special event.
Oh, I'm thinking about maybe if I'm free to try to maybe race that race.
And
if
just
they allow
about
me to come
every
in.
driver's heart rate just went up, thinking, oh gosh, he's going to wreck me.
Well, I mean, you know, if they get in my way, I'm kidding. But if they don't mind me coming straight through server because I don't have RLM, then I think it'll be a fun thing. And I just tried to throw my blanket over my head and completely failed.
There's a visual we need. Man
just
versus
covered myself in
blanket. Blanket wins.
We got pit stops coming up, guys. I'm seeing radios lighting up, and they've gotten themselves double wide
Wait,
in
who
the
lost
process.
the pack back there?
I believe that is Dave Little in the 83. But I think we're going to see Donnie Garrett and drivers on that inside line coming to pit road. Everybody that jumped up to the top side, they can
here
go
we
a little
go.
bit further because they topped off.
Not as many
Wider
as I
pit
thought,
road.
yeah.
Garrett, McClure, Schilling, Doug
Wow.
Woolley.
Okay, Seth. This one's for you. She says Michael versus Cody Winter Classic new FWE episode.
Yeah, that might be a little tough to do unless you want to have Christmas in July, because that's what we've recorded up to for next year.
Hey, isn't that a thing that you do?
What, Christmas
Sometimes.
in July?
Yeah, a special race.
For a special race?
Yeah. Every now and then.
Every now and then.
Maybe I'll do it this year.
Jeremy Jeffries got pushed out to the race lead after he and Greg Palmer jumped to that outside line. The run that Metallic, Sullins, and Wesley were trying to get, it helped tow them up, and now they've made their way up into the top
Who else is
five.
coming down pit road this time? I don't know if I saw a couple cars coming down.
I don't think anybody else is pitting as of yet. I think you're going to have to wait maybe another 2 to 3 laps.
They might try to come down. Oh, here, a couple
Half a
cars.
dozen
there are
guys
some.
did go down, yeah.
Yeah, including Denny Carroll.
Yep, Carol, Cabana, Waluigi.
Kelly Causey back there as well. Robert Breedlove.
I'm thinking the rest of them are all coming now.
Ooh, and this is a bad place for them to catch drivers coming off of pit lane.
Mm-hmm.
John Godfrey
Oh.
on the inside line. They're going to hope that 99 of Doug Woolley goes up to the top, so that way they have the inside access to pit road. Oh, they're not going to get it. Wow.
2 cars. Looks like it was Paglia.
Tim Knopsker would be the other one.
Yeah. Hmm, 4 laps of pitting. Interesting. It is tight out here. Look at this. They got nowhere to go. Yeah, like you say, all the cars that are blending back in. It's currently focused on Metallic running in second place. Has not pit yet.
And these drivers,
Or
they
has he?
probably
Well, he's pitted once because that was
yeah,
from before.
they've pitted when they topped off
Yeah.
under the caution. I think they're all coming in this time now. It's about the furthest that they could go. Ooh, big lock up there for Metallic. Oh, he's out into the grass. Now, as long as he got it woed up to pit road speed, he should be safe. Coming back. Oh, he's going to get hit by Grant Wesley.
Oh no, that's not a good.
That is going to be a lot of track position lost for driver 39, and we usually end up seeing pit stops towards the close of the race have major implications, whether it's towards who's going to make the playoffs or who's moving on. This right here on lap 23 could be huge into determining Josh Metallic's chances of winning this championship.
So he didn't stop. Metallic drove straight through, I think.
And I wonder, yeah, hang on. I believe he qualified via the random qualifying draw towards the rear of the field. Yeah, 32nd. He may have actually
So he got spun
past the pit
yeah,
stall.
yeah, he did. I can guarantee you he did. Now the question is, does he have enough to make it back around to get into his pit stall?
He is still under power on the back straightaway.
He
here.
needs a
The speed is
caution, and he needs
increasing.
it soon.
Yes, for sure.
Maybe once he gets on pit road and in his stall, he needs one.
He's only doing about 174 mile an hour, so he's either damaged or just conserving a little bit. Looks like he's going to be all right.
He's trying to get up to speed. He's probably in 4th gear, which is going to take longer to get up to speed as well. That way he has a better chance of not running out of fuel coming around to pit lane. Well, we got trouble off of pit road. Brian Lovell, Ulysses Sandoval got together, and Lovell is up on the racetrack right in front of the leaders.
Oh,
he just got wiped out by John Godfrey. He was trying to teleport back to pit road. Godfrey got him, as well as Bobby
And
Farrell. There's more wrecking up ahead with Glenn Harris.
This is the caution that the 39 needed, but the question is, did he get on pit road in enough time?
Wow.
He was in his stall when it happened, yes. Because I was
field
riding on board with him.
Barreling in there as Bobby, Brian Lovell was up against the wall.
And he looks like he did teleport, but I think it was just a split second too late.
Yep, the split second prior to him teleporting back, the 7-Eleven made contact with him. John Godfrey had nowhere to go. They were 3 wide. He was right up against the wall. And then Glenn Harris gets collected as well.
Metallic had a black flag according to the stats, but so does Despirito, apparently.
That's going to be a big break for Joe Despirito, because that would have more than likely been a speeding penalty for him. Now he'll get to serve that penalty here under caution rather than under green. Granted, he'd start at the tail end of the field for the upcoming restart, but at least you'd have cars literally on your front bumper rather than way out the windshield. So this all started, there was about 8 or 9 drivers that elected to run longer than everybody else, all came to pit road, and Brian Lovell and Ulysses Sandoval coming off of pit lane end up making contact. Spins Ulysses up towards the track. I don't think he ever goes up past the yellow line, but Brian Lovell spins right up against the outside wall.
Oh, Ulysses lost a little bit of control there.
Yep, right at the very end, he got loose shifting, and that happens coming off of this course or this pit road here.
Yeah, that first gear is a lot of wheel spin.
But you see, he teleported, and it could be like on his end, he teleported, and then it just. But my question is, you see somebody up there.
It looks. You know what though? I don't think there's any contact. It's John just trying to avoid a car that he sees.
I think there's a tiny bit of contact.
Yeah.
Tiny bit.
You see it hop right there, it hops. And it's just, I mean, I think John would have spun out just by trying to make that erratic maneuver. Oh man, that's crazy. That's why we love this sim, unfortunately. You think you've seen it all.
Oh, you know who else was involved in that? Didn't get a lot of damage, but another of our playoff drivers, Chuck McClure, actually got into the back of John Godfrey.
Oh, Godfrey got by Harris. Jeez. That might be it for Godfrey.
And there was a little contact as well for Donnie Garrett. Bobby Farrell took a big hit into the inside wall. And that's a thing too. Obviously, you know, we don't have the opportunity of hearing what's going on between drivers, but one would certainly have hoped that there was some kind of communication letting drivers know that there was a car up there against the outside wall. There is some petty blue on that 044, but the preliminary color on that car is gray, so one would think that would probably blend into the racing surface. So unless you've got your F2 up, seeing that your interval is rapidly decreasing as you approach that car, or if there's some verbal communication that there's a car up against the outside wall just past the start-finish line, a lot of drivers came barreling into that area, maybe not realizing that there was a car that was stuck up on that outside line.
so many variables too, because everything happens so quick, and they're, like you say, they're racing each other, and that's something you don't expect. By the time it gets relayed on the radios, it's too late. You can't go anywhere anyway.
That wreck is taken out both Brian Lovell and John Godfrey. It also looks like I did not see him as
Robert Spring.
we were looking back through the replay. I didn't see Robert Spring in the 074 collected in the incident. May have been completely separate mechanical failure, showing an engine piston going south on his Toyota.
See if I can find it.
That's going to leave us with 34 drivers in this race, all on the lead lap. I think at the time the caution came out, I believe we had completed the cycle of pit stops, and
Now,
we did not have anybody a lap down needing to take the Lucky Dogs.
Not even the 39, right? Because he said he was in his pit stop, and all those
Correct.
people passed him. So I thought maybe that would have put him a lap down.
Well, field is frozen at the time of yellow.
Well,
so
if he had an early pit stop, they would have passed him before the incident happened. So my guess is maybe he got the lucky dog, or just got lucky and they told him to stay on the lead lap.
I'll have to check, because let me see. Yeah, I think you're right, because he's actually coming down pit road again, so he probably did indeed get the free pass. So going to be a couple of question marks here when we get ready for this restart. How much damage did the 17 of Chuck McClure sustain in that incident? And for both Joe DeSpirito and Josh Metallic, this caution saving them. Metallic missing his pit stall on the first go-round, DeSpirito getting hit with a black flag for speeding. They will both start at the tail end of the field. How long will it take for them to gain back the track position they had prior to the pit stops? Both of them were up inside of the top 5 when the pit stop cycle began.
So it looks like the 074 of Robert Spring was able to avoid that wreck, but then coming onto the back straightaway, he's only doing like 80 mile an hour. Looks like he popped a gear.
I was told to tell you this, Seth. Jess said Seth used to do this special race at Christmas in July until he spilled Dylan's Fruity Pebbles. The pebbles weren't, quote, congealed together tightly enough.
There's that word.
Congealed. Yeah, Robert Spring's engine failed. He didn't hit anybody, but I don't know. It just blew up under yellow there, so he was forced to retire. He got towed back to the pits, but they couldn't fix it.
Tough break there for him. Going to finish 37th here tonight. One more opportunity at a checkered flag next week in the season finale, as Jeff Crivello will get us back under the green. Looks like most everybody came back down pit road under this yellow to top off, even though most of them had been to pit road only 2-3 laps prior under green flag conditions. Crivello staying out benefited with the gain of track position. Another driver that actually benefited from this caution as well, though we didn't really talk about him involved in any incidents during the pit stops or during that wreck from the start-finish line over to turn 1, was Brian Schilling. I noticed that when everybody was getting up to speed cycling around, he got freight trained up on the outside line and fell all the way back to the tail end of the lead pack. With this caution coming out, he's able to now restart up in the 13th position. You see him up in that 3rd lane behind Chuck McClure. So that helped him gain a ton of track position that he would have lost had we still been under green flag conditions. Oh, we got a car down the apron. That's Pantaleo, and he's back up the track. Clobbered Billy Elliser. Elliser is up and over, and
Cody
upside
Lamas.
down is Cody Lamas as well.
Well,
Cody, there's still time. You can catch that flight to Colorado. Not sure if there was contact or not, but I saw the 71 go down onto the apron through the center of 1 and 2.
oh, Cody is smoking.
Oh, my cough button works, but I got 2 of them.
Oh, he got just barely clipped by the 088 and then just came up and oh my gosh. Nowhere for Cody to go. Yeah, that's Jess just made a good point. Cody needs to stop running the yellow 88 or the yellow 48.
It's cursed.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's almost like Bobby Farrell got loose down the apron ahead of Pantaleo. Pantaleo goes up a half groove to try and give him space, and then RJ Cabana gets Pantaleo from behind. Then Elliser goes for a wild ride. Cody Lamas gets turtled, and Pat McCarsky has the mayhem happening all around him, and I don't think he really got any contact from
Could that have
anybody
been
else.
hitbox, though, from that car?
Could very well have been. Yeah, it definitely looked like there was some space in between those two cars. The way that the 71 violently turned down to the apron, I think that there was some type of contact, but I think you're right. I think it could have very well been what we call on the iRacing side our good friend Gap Whack.
Yep.
Well, there's a specific reason we call it that. Because iRacing hates the word lag.
Or warp.
That too.
Pit road continues to be a busy place here in this 10-lap span. Drivers were down here under green flag conditions, now coming down under 2 caution flags. Just trying to get every last little bit of fuel that they can, because this has been a running trend for a majority of the season. We end up having these early yellows in the first half of the race, and then the second half of the race, we go green to the checkered flag, and there always ends up being that money stop. These drivers would like to make that money stop as close to the end of the race as they possibly can, so they take every opportunity under caution to come down and fill it full of fuel. Like Dan Pantaleo and Billy Ellis are both out of the race. Cody Lamas,
is going. Oh, they fixed it.
No, he is.
Should we try to
still
drag
out
him up
there.
here and talk to him?
Did they fix it?
They fixed it. I don't think that thing's gonna be up to speed though.
Hey, let's talk to him while we got a chance. If you guys are down for that.
Do it. Let's do it.
Hey, Cody,
Hey.
Are you introducing him or I introducing him? I don't know. You
You
dragged him.
paused. Go ahead.
Cody, you got a copy.
Oh, hey, yes, hi.
So, I don't know if necessarily they will accept you as a brother in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but you did a good turtle impression over there off of turn 2. Obviously nowhere to go, but how in the world is that thing still running?
I don't know how this thing is still running. Yeah, it's kind of ironic you say turtle, because I don't have that car that came up the track and killed us, and it was green. So there you go.
Friendly
you go.
fire, turtle on
Cody?
turtle.
I have to tell you this because Jess said it. Why are you running that cursed scheme?
Honestly, I meant to run the Panther scheme, but I guess the last race they did was a throwback race, and I didn't switch. So there you go. It is cursed, I agree. And yeah, I got to get some wings. I felt like Ryan Preece.
So, what's the expected top speed out of this 48 for the rest of the race? Because we saw you trailing Black Smoke, so we definitely know the engine is not at 100%.
Probably like 10 miles an hour.
Okay.
Also,
The minimum speed.
I was also told to tell you, made realistic thanks to you, but she said Jimmy Johnson's anything with the blown engine video game made realistic thanks to you, and she also says hi.
Yeah, I believe it. But I'm kind of in a box. I'm out here running for, I'm like 1 point behind a couple guys for 30th, so gotta keep going. Even though I'm gonna be painful, feel free to come sing me a song if I get bored when I'm alone.
Okay, I'll stop looking at Southwest Airlines flights for you out to Colorado, because you probably could still make the end of the game.
Yeah. I can pay attention a lot more now, let's put it that way.
All right, Cody, man, have fun down there. Have fun with whatever car you got left.
I'll fall asleep for you guys.
Puts a man in a soapbox derby car with motoring engines all around him and tells him to have fun. Michael, you are a cruel, cruel man.
That's why I added the at the end of it. That's why I added with whatever car you got left.
You know what happens when Michael has fun?
Okay, once. Okay, that happened one time.
And it was an amazing clip.
It was absolutely amazing. Let's put it this way: the backstory for for Blaine here is I was racing a race at Darlington.
Okay.
I was chasing down Zach Rogers, and prior to going into turn 3, we were heading down the backstretch. Someone had asked me a question, or I think Zach asked if I was trying
said,
hard.
I'm just saving. If you want to go by me, you can.
Oh yeah, and I said, oh well, I'm just having fun right now. So then I send it off into turn 3 and immediately start spinning, and I just start screaming, I'm not having fun anymore.
Nice.
So we've told Michael he can't have fun.
And everyone just died laughing. Seth, you have better quotes than I do in all your short videos. Like, when a car's doing a wheelie.
That's true.
There goes 1, there goes 2, there goes 3, and someone's doing a wheelie.
Only when we do high grip wreckers.
No, I'm still picturing back to the practice session when we were practicing for your Super Speedway series, and you had a blinking map behind you.
Ooh.
Bottom line stacking up.
Yeah, both lines actually stacked up there.
Demar, I don't think, got a great restart.
Causey got a shove from Jeremy Jeffers.
Now the 0-0 has nobody behind him at the beginning, so you'll see Demar get a good run off the corner, but will he clear him in enough time to get up to pass up? He's clear now, and now he goes up.
It was 3 weeks ago, the first race of the round of 8. We saw Richard Martin go to victory lane on an incredible fuel strategy. I guess we could say non-call. Was getting ready to come to pit road. Halfway through 3 and 4, a caution comes out, and he elects to stay out and try and see if he had enough fuel in those final few pace laps. He was able to do so. The only non-playoff winner to win a playoff race so far this season.
A little bit of statistics for you. I was told that if we go green from here on out, next pit stop will be around 51 to 52.
And that would be the money
We
stop.
will not be
we would
going
be
green.
good to make it.
No green.
Ali Causey now into second place. There,
Oh,
Jeremy
caution.
Jeffries in third.
Caution is out already.
Oh, yeah.
Rodney Sullins.
I think that's probably why he said that, too. Why he said not going green.
And
That's
we got
why
a
I said it,
parking
yeah.
lot.
Because I was
Hey,
focused
look,
on
Cody,
Wooly.
there's more spots for you.
I was focused on Wooly, and everybody started spinning, so. Happened in
Craig
front of
Hagley,
Doug
Pat
Woolley.
McCarskey, Doug Woolley. Oh, we had more flipping cars.
Look at this, but look, is this on the start, or is this, no, that was a lap after the start, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did he start spinning, or did he blow up? I thought I saw smoke first.
Oh, Bynum,
he got
Hagley.
Got some
He
help.
moved up just, yep. He moved up just a little bit, and that caused that little bit right there.
Little is
Man.
involved in that one again.
That's a massive hit between Hagley and Bynum.
Yeah.
Bynum.
Hagley got hit again. Wait a second. Then McCarskey and Hagley are getting together, too. Hagley got ransacked.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Did you see who just barely snaked his way through that? One of
No.
our final 5, Josh Metallic. My goodness.
We'll go on board with him. Yeah, Hagley was not having a good time. He just seemed to catch corners of everyone going through there. So we'll go on board with Metallic, apparently.
Yeah, he almost gets hit first by Rodney Sullins and then nearly gets wiped out a couple seconds later by Hagley, who comes back up the track right behind him.
Oh, I see. Yeah, on the overhead, you can't see the. You just see him come around. Change that camera angle.
Already had some issues here tonight, has Metallic, and that could have made his problems even worse. Dodged a bullet there on that one.
Yeah.
This caution still will not see us able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. We'll be within the 30 lap to go mark. More than likely, by the time we go back green, these drivers will be looking at having to take on at least a can of fuel to get to the end of this race. As Cody Lamas will pull up alongside of the pace car. He's going to get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. That'll have us with 30 drivers on the lead lap as Craig Hagley, Pat McCarskey out of the race due to this most recent wreck, joining Dan Pantaleo, Billy Elliser, Brian Lovell, John Godfrey, and Robert Spring behind the wall. I mentioned in this race here, we get to this portion of the season, more and more drivers are eliminated from the championship, are just eyeing that checkered flag, kind of that bring home the trophy or bring home the steering wheel mentality, and we see the intensity pick up. That's why I think we've seen as many yellows as we have so far in this race, and to kind of echo Blaine, don't think we're done with cautions yet. We may see another one between now and the checkered flag, as these drivers will be getting more and more amped up the closer we get to the final lap of tonight's event. Just did a quick double check here as well on our playoff contenders, if any of them have led a lap yet tonight. Only one currently would have secured a bonus point for a lap led, and that'd be Chuck McClure, who led only one lap so far. Brian Schilling, Joe DeSpirito, Denny Carroll, and Josh Metallic so far have a 0 in the laps led column. Couple of drivers that stayed out here under this yellow. Denny Carroll, who will restart in 3rd. Donnie Garrett, who will restart in 6th. Those drivers battling for the Bracket Challenge Championship. Carroll needs to defeat Donnie Garrett tonight to win the championship 1 week early. Garrett needs to finish ahead of Carroll to send it into another matchup next week in the finale. Update on where your 5 remaining championship drivers are scored. Carroll is the highest of them. Will restart in the 3rd position. Chuck McClure will be 9th. Brian Schilling just outside of the top 10 in 11th. Joe DeSpirito will be 17th. And Josh Metallic back in the 22nd position. They are all on the lead lap. To our current knowledge, are still up to speed and competitive. And I believe the only one that really hasn't had any type of issues here tonight of those 5 has been the 41 of Denny Carroll. Schilling had a somewhat slow pit stop. DeSpirito had an earlier black flag. Metallic missed his pit stall. And Chuck McClure was involved in an incident earlier on in the race just around the start-finish line.
You have to see what this caution is going to do. DMAR's still with the lead here, Seth. But what do you think about it? Do you come down with coming to 1 to go on the restart, which I think that's what they're coming to this lap, is possibly the 1 to go?
I'm trying to think if there would be any benefit to doing so.
Just topping off.
Yeah, if the lights go out this time by, then we know we're going back green at the completion of 39 onto 40, which would put us at 27 laps to go. I don't think there's much in it. You're talking about pitting around 8 to go if you top off now, as opposed to pitting with about 10 to go if you've already been to pit road under this caution period. Either way, you're still going to have to take on a can of fuel. You don't have enough laps ticked away here under this caution period to get you to being able to make that pit stop around 5 to go, where you could maybe save some time taking on a half can. So I don't think you would end up seeing anybody, unless you're towards middle to extreme rear of the field, coming down and topping off here at this 1 to green. Anybody that was up here at the front, they're just planning on keeping this track position until they're going to have to make that pit stop. Granted, it'll be a couple of laps earlier than everybody else, but we've also seen that some of those that made the earlier pit stops during the first green flag cycle got on and off without incident. It was those later groups to pit road that seemed to have the issues.
Always try to make sure to thank our sponsors, too, by the way. I forgot to do that at the start of the broadcast. Red Line Performance Motorsports and, of course, Rodney Sullivan's Paints. Thanks for sponsoring the broadcasts, y'all. And, of course, thanks to everybody who watches this stuff live on the internet or on the replay. Video on demand, they call it. Retired cars this evening: Robert Spring, John Godfrey, Brian Lovell, Billy Ellisor, Dan Pantaleo, Pat McCarskey, and Craig Hagley within the last 3 laps. He took a beating on that last sequence, too.
Yes, he did.
My statistics person says
Uh-oh.
Mark is going to be about lap 57, and it would be 1 can.
We'll see if we get
1
to that
can?
point here.
1 can will get you 9 laps?
We'll get you 10 laps, actually.
Okay.
Getting ready to go back green here. Of course, we'll be wrapping up this season next week. The other weekly series for RTG have already come to a close this week. Is everybody up through the gears? Grant Wesley took the championship on Monday nights in the Bare Bones Racing Series. Doug Cady picking up the Challenger Championship on Monday nights. And then last night we saw Jeff Supta pick up the championship in the Aero 88 Series. Bobby Farrell, the Challenger champion, on Wednesday night. So congratulations to all of those champions here for season 66. At least for Mondays and Wednesday nights, that locks those champions into the Speedway All-Star races. The eventual champion, and I believe the Bracket Challenge champion of this season, will get locked into the Super Speedway All-Star race here for RTG. Chuck McClure with a big move back there around the 8th, 9th position, along with Brian Schilling. A couple of playoff drivers trying to work their way to the front. And Denny Carroll, now the new race leader. Bonus point to the 41. Only the second of our championship 5 that have led a lap here tonight. McClure was the other. That 21 of Randy Waugh.
Luigi.
All by his lonesome in the middle. Normally the preferred line here, but when you have nobody assisting, that is the proverbial sucker hole. As he drifted back outside of the top 10. Now Chuck McClure moves from the top to the middle. Brian Schilling, Josh Metallic there with him. They've now shuffled out the 43 of Richard Martin, the 931 of Robert Breedlove, and here comes Grant Wesley.
That's so crazy how that works. Like you were saying, it ends up being the sucker hole, but it's the middle line, it's the preferred line. It's always fascinating how that happens, and then we watch everybody move to the middle, and now here they come.
All comes down to if you have friends or not.
Literally just changed all within about 3 seconds. I mean, Randy's still way back there, but
And take a
Randy
look
was
who's now
leading the
charging
middle
to the
line
front.
less than half a lap ago, and now he's 12 rows back.
Last time by, he crossed the line in 17th place, so he lost a ton of spots in just the span of a little over 2.5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see this green number 88 Chevrolet Camaro on the track last week. Grant was at the Gateway Dirt Nationals. Hoped that his second place performance the week prior would be enough points along with his provisional to advance into the final round of the postseason. It unfortunately was not. So now he's just out here trying to see if he can pick up yet another victory here to close out season 66. We have a 4-way tie at the top of the leaderboard in wins. Wesley, Rodney Sullins, Joe DeSpirito, and Chuck McClure, all with 2 wins each. Got to think that all 4 of them would like to break that tie and stand alone with most wins on the season.
The 4, the 17, and the 39 are in a row.
All working together there. And that could be a thing that we could see as well. You know, we heard a number of drivers talk about in those first races of the respective rounds, the round of 12, the round of 8, they were willing to work with their competition, their fellow playoff drivers, and then had the mentality of every man for themselves in the elimination races. Could be the same deal here. It's first race of the final round. McClure, Schilling, Metallic saying we'll work together right now. We'll try and finish up at the front in this race, see where we stand going to next week, but then next week it's every man for himself. Keeping an eye towards the rear of the field, saw the 38 of Rodney Sullins take a big hit in one of those earlier wrecks over in turn 1. Looks like he is still up here in this lead pack, and he is getting drafting assistance from the 24 of Joe DeSpirito. Now, it does look like the 38 is slightly off the pace with that rear end damage. DeSpirito is giving up track position to keep Rodney up in this lead group, but this could potentially be by design as well for driver 24. He could be kind of riding back here twofold to keep Rodney in this pack, but also maybe save a little bit of fuel during the course of this run as well. I don't know how much you could save. I don't think you could save enough to get yourself to being able to only take on a half can on the final pit stop, but could be a little bit of strategy here by the 24 car after seeing all of these earlier wrecks, maybe feeling the rear of the field is the safest place to be to keep his chances alive.
And there goes Cody.
Finale.
Sorry, I don't try to laugh at Cody, but I always actually
Yes, you
try to
do.
laugh at Cody. Yes, I do.
You
I
can't
don't try,
lie
but
on
I just
broadcast,
I don't.
Michael.
Yeah.
I don't try, but I do it.
It's like Keith Bynum a couple of laps ago brought his wounded machine to pit road and has retired from the race, was involved in a couple of incidents tonight. I mean,
Okay,
you just had an incident right there through the tri-oval. I think Schilling may have given a little bump to McClure.
It's working, though.
It is.
Yeah, the inside. Holy cow! It's because now they got a third lane coming. That's why.
Greg Palmer.
Ulysses
There's
on the
McCarthy
outside too.
up there. Yep. Ulysses, Kelly Causey also up there. We are 3 wide, several rows deep, third place on back, and Denny Carroll is right in the middle of all that in the 41.
Look
And
at the
look who's
outside
right
lane, still
alongside of
going.
him. 77 of Donnie Garrett. We're side by side for the bracket challenge.
Oh, I thought the 17 might have clipped the apron there. Well, Ulysses trying to make a fourth line.
I don't think anyone's going to go up there with him, though.
I'll go.
There you go, Ulysses. You got one.
Yep.
Got McClure now the race leader. He had previously led a lap before taking the lead here, so he already had the bonus point for a lap led. I believe there still are enough laps left in this race that the most laps led bonus point could still be up for grabs. Donnie Garrett's led the most laps so far tonight at 13, but we've still got 18 laps left to go when they hit the stripe this time by, and Chuck has led 2 laps, so he potentially could take that bonus point for most laps led here tonight if he leads a majority of the remainder of this race. We've got 26 drivers up in this lead pack, 29 drivers running. We saw Cody Lamas go a lap down a couple of laps ago. Glenn Harris and David Little are also off the pace and out of this lead group. Both majorly off the pace, involved in some of our earlier wrecks tonight. Couple of names we haven't talked about this evening starting to creep up into the latter portion of the top 10. 23 of Doug Hulick on that inside line. Last time by scored in P9. And right alongside of him, Mike Mangialardi in the 029.
Mike, man, I'm having a party.
Getting some good help up there.
We're going to have to watch the outside now that they've got it single filed away. They're double filed back there, but they're not fighting 3 wide or nothing, so we got to keep an eye on the outside lane. Jess said that at this moment in time that she says to keep an eye out on Jeremy Jeffries. He could play spoiler.
43 to pit road. Richard Martin, as well as Kelly Causey. Now, they stayed out under the last couple of yellows to keep track position, so they're a little bit off sequence of everybody else in terms of what they can do fuel-wise. Pitting this early, I think they're going to have to take on a can and a half.
For reference, I was laughing because when Seth was scrolling through his cameras, he went back to poor Cody Lamas all by with one other person.
I was going to say, he's not by himself. He's got David Little.
He's the little engine that could.
Eventually, you broadcast long enough, you'll have a nickname for everybody. Like Mangialardi, Grandy Waugh, now you've got Little Engine That Could.
Well, that wasn't necessarily a nickname. That was just heat of the moment.
Cruella, Jeff Crivello DeVille.
Yeah.
That one just came to me, to be completely honest. I think Seth said Crivello one time, and I just was like, that kind of sounds like Cruella.
And I always call him 3G Greg Palmer. Because it's GREGG.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, 3G Greg. I'm sure he's out here somewhere.
That two-car tandem of Cody Lamas and... Well, no, I was wrong. Richard Martin and the 8.
Yeah, it's Demar who was just on pit road and the slower machine of Harris.
And Seth, you called it right. Those that came down pit road, a can and a half, but even then, that's going to be real close.
And it looks like Kelly Causey, who came down pit road behind Richard Martin, came out way ahead of the 43. So I don't know if there was a mistake by Richard Martin or if maybe Causey went with a gutsy call of just a can, but
hoping
definitely with some... Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's definitely some separation between the two.
3G Greg Palmer in 17th place, if you're wondering.
Robert Breedlove back here. Did he also pit just a lap ago? I'm going to double check and see.
Coming to 15 to go. So we're reaching the point where a can and a half will get you to the end.
Couple more.
Question is, do they pit?
If you can make it on a can, I don't think so. Wow!
Did I say a can or
you said a can and a half?
Yeah, a can and a half. Yeah, that's what she said. Can and a half, 15 laps.
It would be a can if you can go another 3 laps.
Is it 12? Thought it was like 10.
It is.
Okay, so if you go another 3
laps, we will get to 10 to go.
Oh. There goes Cody. What's Cody's top speed?
Front, courtesy of Mike Mangialardi there.
What's Cody's top speed? 175. That's like what, 20 miles per hour slower?
That's roughly about 20 miles per hour slower. Yep, I would say Denny Carroll's on pit road. All by himself.
He's going to try the can and a half strategy.
That's a risky gamble here. To be coming down pit lane all by your lonesome.
Well, that depends on how many laps of fuel he had left, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. You add 15 laps for a can and a half to whatever you had left.
Problem I have, though, is he's coming down pit road with no other drivers. So his outlap with no aid of draft is not going to be nearly as good as maybe some of his other championship competitors.
Oh, I don't like how close they are together with that side-by-side.
Yeah, the 21 really pinching the 4 down, now kind of forcing his way to the inside. Oh, he was pitting.
Yeah,
that's why.
Let him in.
Yep, I think he was telling guys, hey, I'm going to run out if I don't get to pit lane. So Metallic left him that gap on the inside line to be able to get to pit lane.
Now, would you be that nice? Would you be that nice late in this race? Because
if it meant I wasn't going to go flipping after turning him around as he dove to pit lane, absolutely. Especially if I'm Josh Metallic who's battling for a championship.
Do you think that he would have just dove down pit lane whether he was clear or not, though?
Well, no, I don't think that would have happened, but there would be a good chance he'd run out of fuel right in front of you, too, if you didn't let him down pit lane. I don't think that's a risk you're willing to take if you're fighting for a championship trophy.
Because it caused him to lose a couple of spots there. Like Ulysses pulled out in front of him.
There we go.
Oh, here we go. Big pack. Oh, we got one around in the back. That's Doug Woolley. He's going to get Bobby Farrell and Terry Bombard.
Not
we're
back up
still
on the
green.
track. Not back up on the track. We are still green. I don't see the flagman doesn't have.
Oh, no, we do have caution.
Oh, because
Caution's
I think because he drove on the track. Well, at least look around just in case.
I believe
he
the
was
10 of
pointed the
Terry
right
Bombard when he pulled back up onto the track.
Yeah, I guess it was because he was pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, he's going too slow. He pulled up there, doing 60 mile an hour, and there was
We
still
are in
two
race
cars
back
coming.
here as well, with Mike Mangialardi out in front. Field is not frozen.
Well, now Danny Carroll and others, this caution's going to help them. They came down pit road by themselves. They didn't get lapped. They're going to have track position.
Denny's just going to be barely ahead of the race leaders. He was exiting out of the tri-oval as the leaders were entering in.
You're still ahead.
Yep, still on the lead lap. Mangialardi's going to be picking up the caution there.
There's going to be some shuffling going on here now.
Doug Woolley majorly locked them up, trying to come to pit lane. The car was out of shape. Uh-oh.
What happened?
I think someone may have hit the restart race button.
Well, no, you're in practice.
I'm currently in practice, yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, man.
Well, if they hit reset race, they would have just restarted the race, not set the whole server back to practice.
Yeah, you might have hit the practice. You could hit practice though. You could go back to the practice.
There might have been an admin out of the race that may have accidentally hit the practice button.
Yeah, everything just went to zeros.
Yep.
And now, word from our sponsor.
Yeah, I don't know what you do in this scenario now.
I would say commercial break until we get this figured out, maybe?
We were more than halfway through the race.
Well, good news.
I think we were at around, what, between 10 to 15 to go. I don't know if they set the race for that amount of laps or if they just will go back to scoring at the time. I mean, it'd be tough to do that. We were right in the middle of green flag pit stops. So how do you know who was where?
This would let everybody who was lap down and damaged to be back full strength.
Or is it we're like 85% of the race is complete? It's just over.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. But the problem is, if the race is over, do they go how do you go to the moment that the server went down? Because we had drivers on pit lane, we had drivers that had just completed service, drivers that still had to pit. I don't know what the scenarios for this. It looks like they are currently having an emergency admin staff meeting right now to determine what to do. Saw a number of the administrators migrate to a separate room of TeamSpeak. So
hey guys, let's take this time to talk to our in-race reporter.
There is a live feed, obviously, with the broadcast. They could rewind the broadcast and just...
Yeah, they could. Also, Cody, hi. What the hell happened?
Well, I actually was listening. I didn't fall asleep. I had a car pushing me the entire time. So,
by the way, Cody, tie game, first period.
I know I have it on my TV.
Oh, okay, cool.
Having damage, you can only just hold down the key and you don't have to pay attention to the track. No, but apparently I think someone said that they were trying to check the replay of what happened and brought out the yellow, and they somehow the practice got kicked forward.
Yep, we are being told that an off-track admin at the time that had retired out of the race did set it back to practice. So they are trying to figure out what to do. I think the easiest thing out of all this would be to just blame Cody.
Yeah. Because it's really rare for me to stay in a race, so I'll take some extreme circumstances.
Your engine was toast.
I was going to say,
if retired out of the race, this wouldn't happen.
They'd have to get out of the server, set it back to probably, because I don't see these guys, especially for like after race, purposes. I don't see them just racing to a certain number of laps. I see them backing out of the server, not shutting it down, but backing the laps down to like maybe 10 to 15, somewhere in between that range if they can fit it there, and then just having a free for all. But I feel like for the cars that were multiple laps down, like our in-race reporter here, I don't know how that would work out.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a tough situation because how do you establish the running order as well? Like we're talking about the possibility of if they ended the race at where we were at since we crossed halfway, how do you figure out who's running where for a finishing results? How do you then in turn, when you reset the race for the remaining amount of laps, how do you determine who was running where at the time that the server ended up getting set back to practice?
Especially since it was during pit stops.
Exactly, that's the thing,
You want to come up on the live broadcast,
we had
Rodney?
about 11, 12 drivers that still hadn't pit.
Rodney
Everybody
wants to come
else
up.
had pits, so I don't know.
Grab Rodney Sullins.
We got Rodney. All right, Rodney. What have we got for a verdict here?
We had a catastrophic mistake by someone.
Can I guess? I want to say Mike Mangialardi wins. Race is over.
This race basically didn't happen. Next week is going to be a one race deal for the championship.
Everything you've just seen, everybody, was a complete apparition.
Good win, Blaine. Good job.
That was practice.
Thanks. That was oh man, it was so good too. You guys were in like a 4, 5, 6 lap, pit stops are going on, and
Yes, we had someone accidentally they were watching the replay to see what happened and accidentally set it back to practice. That's the truth of the matter.
Out of curiosity, why not call it a rain delay? And like take the if one of us could give you the results at the time or the running order at the time it was reset back.
Who has that information though? I mean, outside.
I was thinking about one of us.
But none of us have the export.
That's
when the server gets set back to practice, our ticker information gets wiped out, and not to say anything negative about GNLTV, it doesn't always update the running order as promptly as maybe it should. So
it's about a 15-second delay, and then when you're in the middle of a pit cycle like that, it's not going to be.
No.
Well, I was thinking about maybe going back to look at the stream, but you wouldn't be able to get everyone.
It'd be really tough to do it off of that as well.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, that was. We had a discussion, and that was what we were talking about. Was what was our options? We even thought about a doubleheader next week, but we're just going to do one race. Champions of both the bracket and the season will all be done with one race.
Okay.
One shot.
One opportunity.
Yeah. Cue Eminem.
Don't miss your chance.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah. I got up to third twice tonight, so
with a dilapidated back bumper, I was really impressed to see how that car still had a lot of speed in it despite all the damage on the back end.
Right,
cool. If I had somebody, we're about to do a 10-lap shootout just for fun. So if you guys want to stick around for a few minutes, that's up to you.
Sure.
Oh, cool. Okay, we can broadcast that if you want.
Car was tore up, but it as long as I had somebody behind me, the nose I thought was pretty good. So anyway, give me just a second. Let me touch base with Josh. Hang on.
I was gonna say, darn, I guess that means I can finish watching the video game awards then.
Yeah. You could be honest. You were watching it the whole time anyway.
I was watching the race, going back and forth. I was going back.
Okay. I was like, so what are your thoughts about that last lap, Michael? And you're like, what? Yeah.
Michael was just very excited to see that. What was it? Mario Kart World ended up winning an award tonight.
Say that again.
You were just very excited to see that Mario Kart World ended up winning an award tonight.
They did? I didn't see that part.
Apparently.
All right, guys. In about 5 minutes, we're going to run a 10-lap shootout just for fun, if you want to cover that.
Cool, let's do it.
Good.
So, thanks for hanging around, fellas. Hope you enjoyed that race. It was pretty exciting, about to get real exciting, and then poof. Yeah. So, appreciate you guys. I had the broadcast playing up here on my TV to the right. I was looking at it every once in a while, and you guys are doing a great job. I appreciate you. And
we appreciate you taking the opportunity to fill us in on what went down here, Rodney.
So I figured y'all were probably up there going, what happened? So just a mistake. Somebody made a mistake.
Hey, as a former league admin, I can say everybody's done it at least once. So
yeah,
right. I'm just glad that at that moment I was actually still driving. So, it wasn't me. That's all I was thinking. But I freaked out. I was like, what just happened?
Is there
So-
is that in the rule book? Like, is it buried down there somewhere? If there's a server crash, because that could just be a server crash. I mean, somebody hit the button by mistake, but there would be an instance of if the server crashes.
I think normally, had it been, like in the middle of the season, we would have either scrapped the race, and because you've got more races. But this being the last two of the playoffs, and
Right.
you're talking about getting into people's holiday time if we extended another week, which was something I mentioned, but that's just too much. It wouldn't be fair to the people that may have a dog in the fight. You've got your 5 guys racing for the championship, your 2 guys racing for the bracket series, and then you got your guys racing for the top 30, so they have a guaranteed starting spot next season. So there's several things on the line, and it wouldn't be fair to run it, that following week and then guys not be here because they're, on vacation or whatever. So it's just get all you can get next Thursday.
What were you saying there, Seth, about sometimes there's 14 races and sometimes there's 15? So this kind of, it makes sense.
You're saying I spoke this into existence.
Yeah. Maybe
we were
needed that
talking
extra
about
race.
how in previous seasons, depending on if there was like a holiday or something where you guys had to have an off week, we would sometimes end up having 9 regular season races. I think there was one season we ended up having only 7 regular season races, but since we ended up having the playoffs here surrounding Thanksgiving and we knew we were getting guaranteed 6 playoff races, that's why we ended up having the full 15 races this season, since Thanksgiving didn't happen during the regular season.
Yeah. And it's a shame it happened, but that's the only thing we know to do with the holidays coming up. And I missed a little bit of what you guys were saying. I had a whole lot of whispering going on. Sounded like I was in a bar at midnight, but that's the only thing we know to do to try to be fair. We can't line up and do a 10-lap shootout that really counts. That's not fair. And I've already discussed postponing it a week. So that's the only thing we figured would be fair to everyone, because everybody has the same opportunity in one race. There's just no margin for error.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to this upcoming 10-lap dash. I mentioned tonight that we were definitely going to be seeing a precursor to next week, and I think this is just going to keep everybody in suspense, up the anticipation for next week's finale. We're kind of going back to the original playoff format there with that one and done season finale. So looking forward to that, Rodney. Appreciate you coming up here, giving us the information here in this unfortunate but understandable situation. And hey, best of luck here with a brand new race car in the 10-lap shootout.
Hey, that's right. I got a new car.
There you go.
That's exciting. All right, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Rodney.
If one of you don't mind moving me back down, I'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Well, Rodney Sullivan's proving what happens when you stick it out and eat your Wheaties. He's now got a brand new race car for a 10-lap dash here tonight, which, by the way, folks, is going to be an exciting one, because not only is it 10 laps, it is 10 caution-free laps. So, if trouble breaks out, doesn't matter. We're still continuing to race. So it's going to be a race of strategy as well as survival, just to kind of end out the season, or not the season, but the night on a happy, fun note, if you will.
No pitch strategy, no nothing. Let's just go for it. Sprint races are pretty wild. Other leagues like Talladega Nights would always do the sprint race, the 10-lap sprint races, instead of practice. It turned into like a series, and they're a lot of fun because it's very frantic. They're over quick.
I need something like this heat race to make me smile, because I just found out Split Fiction lost to Arc Raiders in best multiplayer game or co-op game of the year. Darn it.
Arc Raiders? Multiplayer
It's a decent game, but
yeah.
Split Fiction, my gosh, the storyline in that, incredible.
What Alien Fire Team Elite, man. Oof. I logged a lot of hours in that thing. That's fun.
I don't know if
3-player
what was
co-op.
it, Helldivers 2. I don't know if it would have been up for Game of the Year this year or not.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's the thing with... Yeah, Alien Fire Team came out like 5 or 6 years ago, so yeah. Co-op games are good.
Oh, they are.
Helldivers. Alien Fire Team is really good. Claustrophobic. It's only a 3-player co-op game. But, man, once you, like, max out all your dudes and stuff, like the weapons and all the little extra perks that you can have with your sentry guns, that game's a ton of fun, especially if you're a fan of the Aliens franchise.
Speaking of multiplayer games, Blaine, who's that group I saw you RVing with a couple of nights ago?
That was, that was Rod Weston, Milt Surratt, Robert Spring. We were in there. You talk about like a low impact multiplayer game. You know, you're not running from aliens. You're not, in the middle of a war zone on Call of Duty. You have your RV in the middle of the forest, and you have to try to get it back to the freeway. And it's a physics-based. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I ended up. I've seen gameplay of RV there yet, and my buddy RJ is like, "Huh, Blaine's in an RV." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, over on Tarnation TV Turbo, he's in an RV." And it's like, I look at it, I'm like, "Oh yeah, look at that."
And it's funny because like wildlife will chase you sometimes. A bear will come out of the woods, but as long as you always have a cigarette in your mouth, you can start puffing on the cigarette and you can run really quick. Just like in real life, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty funny. Beer makes you really strong. And you use your winch and your pulleys and stuff to kind of, get your RV through the forest and try to get it back to the highway.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the bridges are maybe the most treacherous thing in that game, and it looked like you guys had a little bit of difficulty with bridges as well.
Are you going to race there, Seth? I see you on the track
I might as well. Let's see what we can do with these guys.
The orange machine on the broadcast.
Oh, it's orange for you guys? I was going to say, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Blue, but that'd be kind of awkward with me being an orange car on the broadcast side.
Yeah, on the broadcast side, it's orange. Straight
I'll be
100%
blue and orange
no
for
numbers.
the New York Mets, who are currently in mourning at the loss of Pete Alonso.
No damage, no yellows.
Awesome. Thanks, Rodney. No damage and no yellows.
No damage, no yellow flags. First one to the checker flag wins.
And Seth Cole starting row 2. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, and we might have set it back here for, I think the 21 and Randy Waugh still needed to grid up there, so they might have set it back for him.
Wouldn't be the first time broadcasting from the driver's seat, would it?
Actually, for me, I think this might be a first.
Well, you live stream on your other channel there.
I do, but I don't really consider that broadcast.
Not
That's just
really.
kind of showing my POV.
Yeah.
The last people that we've ever had on FRN that actually broadcasted and drove at the same time was Scott Rankin. Drove a number of races on Wednesday nights in a series that we covered, Esports Oval League's Grind Cup series, and then my buddy Matt Rod, another broadcaster of ours, he in a Super Speedway series that he hosted, he was in-car commentator for a number of those races. I have yet to do driving and commentary at the same time in a broadcast, so we guess we can call this a debut.
On board right now with Seth Cole. So what's your pit strategy?
Finish ahead of Cody Lamas. Is he in this field? Is he in this race?
That's an excellent question. Let me see. See if we can track down the 4.8. No.
Darn it.
Yeah, I feel like he would have left.
So you will definitely finish better than he will.
Let's see. I need to set a new benchmark.
Jeremy Jeffries is gone. Grant's
I'm
gone.
gonna
Rodney's
finish
gone.
ahead
Cabello's
of
gone.
Ulysses. There's my benchmark. Finish ahead of the 096.
Everybody remember 10-lap shootout. Catastrophic server failure put us into a fun little 10-lap sprint here. So after these 10 laps are over, so's the broadcast. So get it in you.
So before we take this green, if I end up winning this race, does it go down as an official win? Do I get to laud this over the RTG guys or no? Okay.
Since you're racing, does that mean I don't have to commentate with you?
You can do whatever you want.
No, I'm going to be your crew chief. I've crew chiefed you to a victory once. I can do it again.
With a 999 Seth Cole on the bottom. Oh, there's a wreck behind you. Holy mackerel. Don't worry about it.
No cost.
If it's in the rearview mirror, then I'm okay.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Seth, you knew he wasn't going to go with you.
Massive shove.
Yeah, but you're not. You got no one behind you now.
Yeah.
He just pushed you out of the way, yeah.
Oh, Seth, please.
He ran me out of room. Did you see that?
All right, dive. There you go.
Dive where?
Yes. Oh, that's an Ohio State
dive.
car.
The answer
You
is
just got
yes.
shoved by an Ohio
Oh man,
State
I can
car.
tell you what, guys. There's no brakes being used right now. Nobody is lifting. Any run you get, you are shoving that car forward.
Yeah, in the sprint races, they're very frantic and very aggressive. You know, it's over quick. You got to try to get up there to the front as fast as possible. So,
Wow, that run you get in that middle line off the corner, you kind of see it even more from the driver's seat. Denny Carroll and Glenn Harris on that inside line lost a ton of momentum off it too.
oh, Robert Breedlove looking.
Nobody wants to race. Nobody wants to push a commentator.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
If they're out there looking at a generic right now going, well, this guy didn't even upload a car file. What's this?
Nobody will
Why
work
would
with
you
a
do
generic.
that?
I need to get back in
Look,
line.
not even
Excuse me,
Ulysses will let you back in line.
Excuse me, Ulysses, I need to get up here.
Just push them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're up there.
Give me the room. I need the room.
I need that draft.
Excuse me. Ooh, here
Doug
comes the third
Hewlick
line.
in first. The 24 right behind him. Hagley and Dennis McCarthy. Robert Breedlove, your top 5.
No love for the commentator. Good Lord, Donnie.
No.
this
Nobody
is
wants
gonna
to
be
go
tight off
with
the
you.
corner.
Oh.
And you wrecked Denny for it.
Yep.
Keep going. Oh,
Oh.
thank you, Bobby. It's not easy holding the middle.
You think we're gonna receive a post about that?
I don't know. It's like those old games where you just would rub doors with somebody and they'd immediately become your enemy or your ally.
Yeah, it's called
That's
NASCAR.
what
It's
this
called
is.
NASCAR Thunder 2004.
Yes.
You guys got to get single file.
Nah, we're fine. We got enough time.
Hewlick up there.
Well.
There to go.
There was only
Give
one, and he
Josh
stayed up.
some
He stayed up at the
room.
top.
Give Josh some room. Go by the slower 931.
Hewlick
Now
up
it's
there
all
on the
down to
random
record points.
qualifying. We've led every lap so far.
Yeah,
Halfway.
I think he started from the pole. You're right.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, he's currently led all 4 laps.
Oh, we're gonna have a massive run this second group here with Palmer leading it. I don't know if we're gonna make a move once we catch the tail.
Don't have enough momentum or cars.
Well, we've got the toe of the back end of that first group, so we're definitely gonna have momentum.
Yeah, you're gonna reach him in the middle of the corner when there's not much you can do with it. See, he just let off the gas.
Yeah. Thought about it.
They're still thinking about it.
Ooh, they are not making up their minds at the moment.
We got 4 to go, right?
5 to go.
5 to go.
Halfway.
He said
there.
halfway like last lap, so I thought that was halfway.
Ooh,
Yeah, but I
trying to
just say
pinch up
random
here.
stuff. I don't really know what I'm talking to. That's why we hired you guys.
Here come the pushes, if we can actually get the momentum to do so. Ooh, got broken up in that second groove, so there goes that momentum, potentially.
Doug and Joe got the best seats in the house. Coming up to some ribbons on the track there. The remnants of tires from the past.
Like that outside line's fizzled a bit. Only Donnie and Ulysses up there now. Everybody's migrated to the lower middle. Nobody is running the yellow line at all.
That might change in a couple of laps. The Highline looks like it's working almost now. At least you got some numbers up there.
Pretty nicely organized right
They're letting
at the
the
moment.
43 get up there.
Yeah, I had my rear tires lifted off the ground by Cabana entering into the corner, so I lost a little bit of speed.
McClure
Okay,
coming up
some more
there.
numbers up here on the top that we need.
Well, there's no damage. McClure's coming up, so he could join the fray here too.
Yep.
Well, but there is tire damage. If he's part of all these skid marks and ribbons all over the track, that might be an issue there. He's going to go for...
Oh, he's going to stay in the
man.
middle,
We're gonna
make you guys go around
We're
him.
gonna split him. We're gonna split him.
Yep, he's going to make you go around him.
You know
That was
what?
hilarious.
Get Chuck into this. There you go.
Get
in this battle.
Yeah, you need him. In any other race scenario, you'd yield.
They should just
He
give him
just
his lap
goes
back.
right up the
They
center.
should just
That's
give him his
hilarious.
lap back.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna follow Josh.
That might not be a good idea. What do you got? 2 to go this time, by?
No, it's gonna be, I think, 3 to go.
Lap
No,
number
2 to
9
go.
has begun.
Wow,
We saw,
Seth.
we saw Josh
can't
avoid
predict-
that
can't
really
predict
big
winners.
wreck during the race. So if it's anybody to follow to get through a wreck, I think it's the 39.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Ah!
Hewlett's driving out the rear view mirror right now.
There
Erdo
goes
got
another.
underneath him.
Hagley's catching air.
Hewlett led that whole race.
Oh.
That's going to be the momentum killer right there.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Hewlett threw
Yeah,
a couple
Paul.
of good blocks there too, but Despirito still got around him.
One
Not so
lap
much
to
for following
go.
the 39.
Where do we go? What do we do? They are almost there.
Oh, there you go. Get off that outside. Get off the outside. Get off
Everyone's
the outside.
wrecking. Everyone's wrecking. It's me, Joe.
Oh,
and
you
Greg.
got this. You got this,
Greg,
Seth. You
let's
and
go
Greg can
places.
get up there.
Let's go places like Toyota, even though none of us are Toyotas right now.
This is good for you guys. You got the draft coming up on the 2-4.
Now what do we do is the question.
3G Greg Palmer.
Greg's gonna go up. Joe's gonna block him.
You got to make it 3 wide.
I'm gonna take it 3. Joe's gonna block that. Oh
Yeah,
Lord,
just
I'm
spin
sorry,
him.
Joe.
Wreck him. Wreck the 22. Just do it.
Can't
Just do
get
it.
to his panel.
Ah,
Oh, we came so close.
Oh, that was so close.
that's cool.
Whee!
Congratulations to 3G Greg Palmer. Yeah, if you'd got to him, you had to wreck
Oh
him.
Lord.
You're in the catch fence.
This is Coca-Cola today. The Pepsi car wipes me out.
And you're flipping. All right, well, that was fun.
Oh, there we go.
Ah, nothing like a good 10:30 adrenaline rush.
All right, well, I guess thanks for watching the broadcast. Your post-race interviews won't happen because the race,
Because the race didn't
unfortunately,
happen.
yeah, it unfortunately came to an abrupt close. Like you said,
Hey,
we
but
just chalked that up
tune
to a
in next
weather
week,
delay.
though.
Yeah, that'll be the one now because there's one race to go, right? And
One
that's-
race to decide it. It was nail biters back when they had this system of just a one and done race in the past, and little did we know we were going to be making our way into a blast to the past here in season 66. But it should be good. It should be really good. I think, I might be wrong, but I think this is the first time that we have a final 5 in a
Right.
one and done race. We've had it before with the 2 races, so
So the
and
way
throw an
that
extra
works-
driver in there.
it's like that knockout kind of thing. So like out of those 5, one of them's going to win the championship.
Correct. and they
And it's
don't
one
have
race.
to. But I think a lot of the drivers, maybe all the drivers, are going to look at next week as a must-win, because what better way to finish ahead of your competition than to be out in front and pick up the checkered flag? So it's going to be super, super tight. Not to say we haven't seen tight points battles here with a 2-race finale, but with only 1 race. There was a race that they had for a finale where the top 4, the final 4 finished, I think it was 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, all behind each other. We could have that kind of a scenario at the end of next week.
That's going to be a fun one, man. All down to 1, and there's 5 guys. 5 people can win this thing. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Plus, we've also got Garrett and Carroll. They're going to have that 1 race to decide who wins the Bracket Challenge Championship as well.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about bracket. Yeah.
So that is going to be fun. That is going to be one crazy race to cap off the season. So be sure to join us for that one. That's going to be taking place next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, simulcasted here on Tarnation TV and FRN. We thank you for joining us here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the little sprint race at the end as well. And for Blaine Down, Michael Norman, I'm Seth Cole. Thanks for spending your Thursday night with us. See you next week for the finale of Season 66 of the Rolling Thunder Gaming Talladega Challenge Series.